Hi, my name is David Garcia, and today I'll be playing the role of a sales representative for Wedgeworks Fertilizer. My friend Matt here will be playing the role of Otis Lewis, a corn farmer in Bug Lake, Florida. Mr. Lewis and his family have been farming for over 50 years now and have recently expanded their corn operations down to Bug Lake. As a sales representative for Wedgeworks, I'll be trying to convince Mr. Lewis here that allowing us to be his fertilizer supplier will be his best choice. In order for me to do this, I'll be using a case history handling objection in which I will be telling a story of a similar farm that recently began using our fertilizers and have seen great success. Also, I'll be providing Mr. Lewis with alternative products to ensure that any of our fertilizers can provide Mr. Lewis with and fulfill his needs. Once I pitch my final sale to Mr. Lewis, he will have a last-minute objection. However, I will restate my previous statements and give Mr. Lewis assurance that our company, our fertilizers, and our application methods will provide Mr. Lewis will meet all of Mr. Lewis's fertilizer needs. So, Mr. Lewis, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty well. I'm excited to see what we can get accomplished here today. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. So how was that fishing trip that you were telling me about last time?
Went pretty well. We limited out on redfish, and I think the biggest one we caught was about 38 inches.
Oh, that's definitely a big fish
Pretty
right
big
there.
one, yeah.
You know, good fishing trips, obviously good trip to take, right? How about this? What if we take a fishing trip to celebrate if we can close on any deal today? How's that sound?
Sounds great, but only if we close on the deal.
Sounds like a good deal. So I just want to get the ball rolling here. You mind if I just tell you a little bit more about myself and about our company and what we do here?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Alrighty, so I've personally been with the company for a little bit under 5 years now. Prior to working with Wedgeworks, I studied at the University of Florida, where I studied agricultural operations management. I did a concentration in agribusiness, and I've been here ever since I graduated. So prior to graduation, though, I did an intern with U.S. Sugar. Actually, it was area number 5, which is practically next practically next to where your farm is going to be. So I'm actually very, very familiar with the area in which you're going to be farming. As far as the company goes, we are the largest custom fertilizer dealer in the state. One of our biggest plants is the Moore Haven plant, which is providing over 200,000 tons of custom blends fertilizers every year, and we do ship throughout the entire state. So we do provide any type of blend fertilizer to pretty much any part of our state. And we've been helping and serving farmers pretty much since the 1930s. So we've been in the business here for quite some time now. So I think we could be a little reliable, and we could definitely help you and your farms.
Well, I mean, that sounds like you have pretty good history behind you as well as the company. But could you elaborate more on the custom blend fertilizers?
Yeah, absolutely. Because every farm is going to be different in terms of what you're going to be planting, the different soils. We blend our fertilizers to meet specific specifications of whatever soil it is that you're going to be planting, whatever the soil needs. We go ahead and we take a sample of soil. We get that soil analyzed. Once we receive that analysis of the test, we make a recommendation, which is basically the recipe of the fertilizer that we're going to be providing. That fertilizer is going to have all the nutrients that your soil might be lacking, and any nutrients that are gonna definitely give you a little boost for your yield, give you a higher production. So if you don't mind me asking, how are you guys applying your fertilizers? What kind of fertilizers are you guys using now?
Well, currently we've been just using our conventional method, which is just using bulk fertilizers.
Are you guys broadcasting, or how are you?
Yeah, we're using the broadcast method.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm assuming you haven't changed that because it's been working for you guys. So it's one of those things of if it's worked, why change it, right? Something like that.
It's been working well, so I don't see any need to change it.
Alrighty, well, I'm just gonna tell you a little story. So remember how I said I interned with U.S. Sugar in Area 5, super close to where your farm is going to be. That area was actually owned and managed by a different company before US Sugar purchased it. When I began to intern with them, they had just previously taken over the farming operation there. And because US Sugar we do supply for them, they began using our recommendations, our fertilizers since they took over. Prior to that, they were using, the previous farmers were using very similar methods as to the ones that you guys are using now. So once they switched over and they started using our fertilizers, our recommendations, they did see a massive increase in their yield production because they also harvest corn there. So they went from 150 bushels per acre of corn to 220 bushels per acre. So that's giving you guys an additional 70 bushels per acre. Now, assuming that the price of the bushel of corn is at around it's like $4, that's going to give you guys an approximation of $280 per acre. So that's
That's a pretty good increase. That sounds like an increase just about any farmer would want to see on his farm.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the reason as to why that was such a big increase. It's because the accuracy and precision that the application of fertilizer has, it's very high. So it's very accurate. It's very precise. We do use a lot of computerized systems, and that eliminates a lot of the human error that sometimes the equipment operators might make, or just any type of equipment efficiency or anything like that. So everything is used in computers, so that gives you guys a lot more accuracy and precision. There are different methods of application with all of these methods and applications, we do offer the same precision. So it's always top of the top. One of the ways that we can actually do that is we offer an Air Max sprayer. So we'll do that prior to your planting, which is going to enrich your soils initially with any specific grades or sizes. So if you have like I said, it's all very customizable depending on your farm. So everything that I've just said, how are you liking this all now?
Well, this all sounds great, but I'm a little afraid that it's going to be a little out of my price range, considering everything that goes into getting that recommendation.
I get what you're saying, but it's actually quite on the contrary. Actually, your prices are going to drop. All the inputs that you're going to be using are going to drop. So that means you're going to be paying only for the fertilizer that you're going to need. So your price is going to be dependent on the fertilizer that you need. So you're only going to be paying for the exact amount. All of the soil testing and recommendation, that's all done through our part. So that's something that you guys wouldn't have to worry about. Like I said, so anything that the only thing you'll be paying for is whatever fertilizer you're going to be using. So Mr. Ozu, does it sound like we have a deal?
We got a deal.
Sounds like we have a deal. Looking forward to that fishing trip.
Always.